Hey guys, what's going on? I'm down here on the Red River. That's what's behind me. And we're near the boat ramp that's closed right now due to a sewer spill. This trip reminded me of another trip we made last week on a local lake, where we were watching people at the ramp, and we watched this one gentleman in particular had problems with his boat. And it made me think about my emergency survival kit that I carry in my boat, or a boat survival kit, or whatever you want to call it, what you carry in your boat to keep you from having a bad day. The reason we're doing this is because I helped a guy out at that local boat ramp, and he had already launched his boat, and he loaded his wife into it, and he went to start it, and you know the drill, it didn't run. And it just made me think of all the stuff that I carry on my boat to avoid problems like that, or at least to cure them temporarily. So let's get in our time machine now, and let's go back to last week, and let me show you what happened.
Thank you for helping.
Welcome back. That guy at the ramp, he's doing fine. He just needed a new set of plugs. He didn't have any with him. Didn't have his emergency survival kit, or his boat survival kit. He had just bought the boat, and I really felt sorry for him. But he was a nice guy, and if he's watching this video, I hope you took my advice and took it over to Brother Ray there and got your boat running right. And hope to see you on the water sometime. If he'd have had one of these, this is my emergency survival kit that I carry on my boat, he probably would have had a better day. I felt really sorry for the guy, and we've all been there. We've all had trouble with our engines. It just kind of ruins your afternoon. So let's get in here, because at the end of this video, while you're watching it, you'll be making a mental note, a mental list of what items you carry in your boat, because there are a lot of people out there that don't know what they need to carry, especially new boaters. By leaving your comments below, telling others what you have in your survival kit, your emergency survival kit, or your boat kit, or your boat parts tool kit, you're going to be helping a lot of other people, especially new boaters or people that just never have really thought about it. I guess the first thing you're going to need is a pair of diagonal cutters. Simple tools, don't have to buy a good one. In fact, I wouldn't buy really good ones, because you may drop them overboard, and they're subject to a marine environment, which means they're probably going to get wet and rusty. Let me tell you where these are handy, besides the obvious places. One time I got a crankbait in my finger, and it had a treble hook, had 2 treble hooks. Well, I went to push it through, and my finger was bending, and I'm a guitar player, so I'm a sissy when it comes to my fingers. So, tried to pull it out, well, that wasn't working. Blood was running down my arm. So what I did is I took my dikes out, and I cut the rest of the hook off, made it back to the ramp, made it to the hospital, and had a doctor deaden it and take it out for me. You always need some of those. Spark plugs. This is the #1 thing that I carry in my kit. These happen to be what fit a Yamaha 90 2-stroke. A little tiny ratchet and some sockets.
Time out. Hey guys, please stay with us. You don't know how many times Blues has saved our fishing trip with his emergency boat kit. And I take my fishing seriously.
These are cheap tools. These are not my snap-on tools. I'm not going to take my snap-on tools in my boat. Another cheap tool, you can see the sticker still on it. It's probably a $3 or $4 3/8 drive ratchet for my spark plug. The spark plug socket. Do not use a regular socket on spark plugs, guys. The inside of a spark plug socket has some foam in it or some rubber, and it keeps you from cracking the porcelain. And I've got the most ingenious device ever invented. You ready to see it? The screwdriver. Not only is this a cheap screwdriver, inexpensive. It's a Phillips and flathead. Alright. Of course, you need a crescent wrench, a cheap knife, cheap $1, $2 knife. There's your crescent wrench, a little cheap crescent wrench. And I've got enough sockets in here. I know all the socket sizes for my engine. They're usually between 9 and 19 millimeters, so I usually keep a little set of those too. If you know your engine well, and it's an older engine, and you know the common problems that come with owning that engine. For instance, bad coils. Here's the part number. Anybody wants to see it? First part ignition coil on a Yamaha 90. Mine's a 99 model, but they're pretty much all the same, I think. It takes 3 of them. I just carry 1. Spare fuses. Hose clamps. I don't even know what that is. Some other little parts that I have no idea what they are. I'll figure them out one day. This is important. You probably can't see this. It's a cheap one. It is the end of a fuel line that goes to my motor. The little connector. They crack. If they crack, they suck air. If they suck air on a 2-stroke, you run lean. If you run lean, guess what? You stick a piston and you've got a $3,000 overhaul. That little $5 item can keep you from running. Electrical wire. 16, 18 gauge. Never can tell when you're going to need it. And you know what this is. Marine adhesive sealant. Fast Cure 4200. It seals leaks. It sticks stuff together. It's really good stuff. There is a link to this in the description below, I promise you. This is great stuff. Zip ties. Never can tell when you're going to need zip ties for something. Oh, well, looky here. You know what that is? It's not a marine one, but it's a good one. It's a cable end for your battery connections. Electrical tape. I like red. Carburetor kits. You don't actually need those, but it's good to have spare needles and seats. And maybe floats too, if you have a carbureted outboard. Guess what size that socket is? It's the exact size that fits my trailer lug nuts. Gotta have it. No wonder this thing's so heavy. I've got a lot of tools in here. Wire cutters, strippers, drain plug. They're cheap. They're $2. My boat has 2 of them. More fuses for your fuse panel under the dash. No, I'm not trying to hypnotize you, because I know your eyes aren't following this back and forth, are they? This is my a spare fuel tank. Gas cap on my boat. It's got a plastic one on there now, and I don't like it. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I do have something to fix it with if it does break. I just happened to find this. It was a nice shiny chrome one. Nobody told you to watch all of my videos 3 times tonight. I'm kidding. I keep these in the boat. If you don't have these or something like it, this is a fuel separator, water separator filter. The whole setup is about $50. You do not want to run ethanol gas in your boat. A lot of people do. I don't. But you still get water and you get trash in your fuel. If you look at my son's video, the one I did when I fixed my son's boat, he hadn't changed this in over a year, and his fuel system was really nasty and cruddy. I keep one of these in the boat. This just happened to be in my house tonight. I don't know why. This is fun. I hadn't been in this thing in a while. Seal kit for tilt and trim. I need to install. Be done in a minute. Alright, all kidding aside. On the outside of the box, you'll see some writing with some tape over it. I have a VHF radio. I don't expect Debbie to know how to use it like a professional, but I bet she can get the Coast Guard on channel 16 if she reads this. She doesn't need to call out my MMSI number, but it's here. It's got the phone number of Towboat US. A lot of people use them, or they use CTOW. And that's not when your boat breaks down. If you run up on a reef and you need somebody to pull you back off of it. Yeah, we've done that, but we haven't had to be pulled off. I just tried to. I have a skinny water boat, and I tried to run in 8 inches of water going slow. I don't want to do that again. It took me about 20 minutes to get off of it without scratching up my boat real bad. Vital information written on your dry box for others. Let's say I had a heart attack. Debbie knows how to get me back. She can read my depth finder. It's got the Navionics on it. She can see my track, and she knows how to get back to the dock, and she knows how to operate the boat. Not like a professional, but she does know how to operate the boat and get me back to the dock. And she can call somebody on the way with my VHF radio. She can call her Coast Guard and say, hey, we've got a heart attack patient here. I'm going to be at such and such dock. And she can push a distress signal. She can mayday it if she needs to. That's really kind of how I want to go. Not with her there, but you know. I've got a set of these wrenches that have a little ratchet. They're cheap. They're not high dollar wrenches. Common sizes for my outboard and stuff on my boat. You still here? I got a new toy. See the light behind my couch? Watch this. This is kind of cool, huh? You get all kinds of colors. Purple. That matches the couch. Color seawater. Anyway, it's like $20.